Social media is bad for you. It's pretty well acknowledged at this point. If you don't want to believe it, it's okay, but I have some studies below to indicate otherwise. They are from reliable sources. You can trust me. But why would you? You probably shouldn't. I mean, honestly, how well do you even know me? I mean, okay, honestly, let's face it. The 8 of you who are out there probably do actually know me and know that I tend to marinate in this information. But so maybe I'm a decent source for you, but anybody else who doesn't actually know me well, why would I have any sort of credibility?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Even the fact that you're still watching this is a paradox. You shouldn't be, but how else can I get you this information? Well, let's try nailing this down simply. The biggest issue with media in general is knowing the sources to be able to trust. And in this day and age, the information flow is equal. Everybody has access to the internet, and anybody can make themselves out to be an expert on any given subject.
See, I'm no scientist, but it sounds like it makes sense.
The problem is that all people producing content are not equal. If I begin ranting about who controls Congress, I should absolutely be called on it because I'm not an expert in politics. But presented correctly, I could look like one. Maybe a nice suit, a tie. I do this deliberately. The presentation I want to give you is one that's informal, but, something of an expert, a guy you could trust. Part of the problem is the idea that seeing is believing, and that is a truism that is no longer accurate. If you want to see something and it's being presented compellingly by a presenter who is modestly attractive, you are more likely to believe it. Now, here's something fundamental that anybody could believe in, I think. News and social media in our capitalistic society tend to follow the money. Just like us. We would all like to make a little more bank. But there's very little compelling in talking about the weather or whose house burned down or who rescued a puppy. But if I tell you there's a hurricane coming and it's the worst one to affect anybody in decades and you are at risk, or perhaps this local house burned down because the city failed to protect it, is your house next? Or how about, this puppy was adopted yesterday? Isn't it adorable? But wait until you see the monster that tried to have it killed. Oh, no. Yeah. Every one of those is relying on an emotional hook. Fear, anger, or just a predictable approach of, watch the sexy. We get caught by these traps as adults, and children who don't understand that everything isn't equal, forget it. They have even a worse chance than we do, and we're struggling. All of us can get hooked by the relentless content that gets passed through different algorithms until it arrives at this sweet spot where we're just checking to see what's happened and what's new, and if somebody's liked us. Who doesn't love to be liked? And that only sounds dangerous because it is. The key here is to look for actual information. When the hooks are fear, sex, and anger, it's much more likely to be misleading or have a minimal amount of actual content to it. Don't sit on a single source of information for something, especially when you get riled up looking at it. Check it out. See if other people are saying the same sorts of things. And I don't mean other people quoting each other. I mean literally whole separate networks of people, different groups. Find sources that might even contradict each other and find a source of truth in between. Now, for the love of God, turn off YouTube, go outside, or go spend some time with your friends and family. Don't pick up your phone. And if you can't, what does that tell you?